Hello guys, I'm Jericho, and these are my office mates Jeff and Greg. So for today, the three of us will be talking about something important that would be beneficial to all of us once we get into the professional field or even now if you're working with something. But before all of that, we all welcome you to another segment of Learning in the Office. So for us to get started, let's head inside my office computer. Our primary objective for today is learning about project management. Have you heard about project management before? To get us started, I want you to take a look at this flashback scene from yesterday where we could learn something. As you can see, one of our office mates, Lance, is assigned as a project manager and is working on a particular project under the supervision of one of our strict bosses. After a short while, tons of paperwork has flooded his desk. It turns out that the paperworks are from the sponsors who pulled out from the project, the finance team quitting their job, the schedules getting messed up, and because of that big failure, the project was dismissed. Now that you know the importance of learning project management, let's move on to our introduction. Let's start with the basic. What is a project? A project is defined as an effort to create or modify a specific product or service. Projects are temporary work efforts with a clear beginning and an end. Projects can be completely contained within a specific unit or department, or even include other organizations. A work effort may be considered a project if it meets the criteria established by the organization. An examples of projects are developing a new product or service, constructing a building or facility, and acquiring a new or modified data system. Key characteristics of a project. The first one is temporary. This key characteristic means that every project has a finite start and a finite end. The start is the time when the project is initiated and its concept is developed. The end is reached when all objectives of the project have been met or unmet if it's obvious the project cannot be completed. Then it is terminated. The second one is unique deliverable. Any project aims to produce some deliverables which can be a product, service, or some another result. Deliverables should address a problem or need to be analyzed before the project starts. Progressive elaboration. With the progress of a project, continuous investigation and improvement becomes available, and all this allows producing more accurate and comprehensive plans. This key characteristic means that the successive iterations of planning process results in developing more effective solutions to progress and develop projects. Now that we know what a project is, let's go back into learning what is project management. Project management is the art of planning, controlling, and executing a project in a way that ensures successful delivery of the desired outcome. It is widely used in organizations as a complex of tools for delivering strategic goals and objectives. It can involve a one-time project or an ongoing activity, and resources managed include personnel, finances, technology, and intellectual property. Different types of project management. Many types of project management have been developed to meet the specific needs of certain industries or types of projects. The first one is the waterfall project management. It's similar to traditional project management but includes that each task needs to be completed before the next one starts. Steps are linear and progress flows in one direction, like a waterfall. Because of this, attention to task sequences and timelines are very important in this type of project management. Often, the size of the team working on the project will grow as smaller tasks are completed and larger tasks begin. Number two is Agile Project Management. The computer software industry was one of the first to use this methodology, with the basis originating in the 12 core principles of the Agile Manifesto. Agile project management is an iterative process focused on the continuous monitoring and improvement of deliverables. At its core, high-quality deliverables are a result of providing customer value, team interactions, and adapting to current business circumstances. Agile project management does not follow a sequential stage-by-stage approach. Instead, phases of the project are completed in parallel to each other by various team members in an organization. This approach can find and rectify errors without having to restart the entire procedure. The last project management is the lean project management. This methodology is all about avoiding waste, both of time and of resources. The principles of this methodology were gleaned from Japanese manufacturing practices. The main idea behind them is to create more value for customers with fewer resources. Generally speaking, the project management process includes the following stages: planning, initiation, execution, monitoring, and closing. Now, let us define project concept. The project concept often takes the form of a formal document created within the project owner's organization to justify the initiation of a project. It outlines the background, context, and need for the project's objectives, expected results, and resources required. The role of the individual responsible for the project concept is often called the responsible owner. The procedure used during the concept phase vary widely from organization to organization. During this phase, the major output document is known as the project charter. Its purpose is to help define the project scope as early as possible in the project's life cycle. The project charter is a key document to the project.
I'm Jeffar Villa and I'm here to report about why we need project management and also why project management is important and why do projects fail. Why is there a need for project management? Because projects are often complex and involve numerous stakeholders. Having a project manager to lead the initiative and keep everyone on the same page is critical to project success. In fact, PMI found that organizations using any type of project management methodology are better at meeting budget, staying on schedule, and meeting scope, quality standards, and expected benefits. The other reason why project management is so important because of number one, realistic project planning. To set realistic goals, budget, and timelines, the project manager communicates with different stakeholders to understand the strategic priorities and business objectives of the initiative. Based on the research, the project manager then outlines a project plan that balances those priorities within constraints of time and budget. This process involves cost estimation, resource management, and risk assessment. Number 2. Clear focus and objectives. When project management is left to that team to handle the scope and objectives can easily get muddled. Unclear focus can lead to scope creep, missed deadlines, and overspending. Plus, without a project manager to oversee the project plans and task breakdowns, many teams may not notice potential risk factors as they arise. If they don't address evolving project risks, the team could not end up prioritizing the wrong. Number 3. Strategic alignment. One of the most important reasons to use project management is to align projects with business strategy. In other words, project management is a driver of organizational strategy, So if you aren't applying it to your initiatives, you are missing a crucial opportunity to grow. As project managers oversee the planning and execution of a project, they help ensure the project's overall goals and its subsequent tasks and milestones all align with the organization's strategy. Strategic alignment at every level of the projects keeps each stakeholder on the same page and ensure your initiatives drive for managed process. Project management is a proactive process that seeks to help the right people do the right task at the right time. Without a set project management method, many teams tend to work reactively, handling issues as they arise rather than proactively planning for known risks and setting project goals and parameters from the beginning. 5. Quality control. Quality control is an essential component of project management. Your project could meet all parameters for time and budget, but if the quality standards aren't met, the project will be a deemed failure. Unfortunately, this is all too easy trap to fall into. Teams are under a lot of pressure to finish a project on time on budget, and this can lead to rush work and shoddy execution. That's where project managers comes in. They not only manage deadlines and objectives, but they also keep an eye how well project tasks are executed. Project manager help outline deliverables and define their quality standards so that everyone knows exactly what they're aiming for. Why do projects fail? A project becomes a failure when it does not deliver what required within the agreed upon budget and time. However, in the most cases, the stakeholder decide if the project was a success or a failure based on their judgment and satisfaction with the outcome. Some projects are also considered a failure if they don't meet the financial forecast or fail to meet the ROI target. Here's a look at some of the causes of project failure and how you can avoid them. Number 1. Lack of resource planning. We plan timelines, we plan meetings, we plan structures and teams and interfaces, but sometimes all that in project planning we forgot to plan for our resources. It's a huge contributor to why projects fail. Project management involves resource management, often taking other projects into consideration. Most of us know that financial resource planning is important. Number 2. Unclear goals and objectives. The way to almost guarantee project failure is to begin work without clear project objectives and goals. After all, there's no way to know whether you succeed when you aren't completely sure and you're trying to accomplish. Number 3. Lack of project visibility. No matter how well planned your project is, lack of visibility can lead quickly to failure. It's essential to create a system that provides visibility, not just for the project manager but for all the team members. Visibility includes project transparency of task status, clear communication, and good document management. Number 4. Communication gaps. It should go without saying, but communication in project management is the key. The tools your team uses to communicate should be explained and implemented from the outset of your project. Scope creep. It seems so innocent at first, a simple customer request to add an item here, a brilliant idea to expand a service there, and before you know it, your project scope has outgrown and your team is overextended. Scope creep happens when either the parameters of the project were not well defined from outset or there's pressure either internally from the team or externally from customers or bosses to take on tasks that were not part of original project plan. Number 6, unrealistic expectation, sometimes disguised as dodge optimism. Unrealistic expectations have destroyed many projects. As a project manager, it's absolutely essential to gain a clear picture of what your team can accomplish and in what time frame. Once you have aligned your expectations with the reality, you must communicate them to the customer and often to your bosses. Understand to manage. Generally speaking, managing projects include the following stages: planning, initiation, execution, monitoring, and closing. From start to finish, every project needs a plan that outlines how things will get off the ground, how they will be built, and how will they finish.
Hi, I'm John Greg Anthony Soriano, and I'm here to discuss the traditional project management, the computer project management, and the microcomputer project management software. Traditional project management, waterfall methodology, is a linear approach where processes occur in a predictable sequence. In this approach, the project follows a pre-planned set of stages and assumes that the requirements remain fixed, while the budget and project timeline can be changed. This approach is more suitable for projects where the possibility of changes in the scope is negligible. The office of the project manager holds all the responsibility of the project and is accountable for the results. Apart from the project planning process, even the customers have no say during the project's implementation phase. Similarly, in case of any problems, team members are supposed to escalate the issue to their manager who has the final say. Since traditional project management heavily relies on proper planning and analysis in the development phase, the resulting development process is quite streamlined. This allows the project manager to focus on different tasks since the project team works without minimum guidance unless an issue is raised. Computer project management or IT project management is the process of planning, organizing, and delineating responsibility for the completion of an organization's specific information technology goals. IT project management includes overseeing projects for software development, hardware installations, network upgrades, cloud computing and virtualizations rollout, business analytics, and data management projects, and implementing IT services. In addition to the normal problems that can cause a project to fail, factors that can negatively affect the success of an IT project include advances in technology during the project's execution, infrastructure changes that impact security and data management, and unknown dependent relationships among hardware, software, network, infrastructure, and data. IT projects may also succumb to the first time first use penalty, which represents the total risk an organization assumes when implementing a new technology for the first time. Because of the technology hasn't been implemented or used before in the organization, there are likely to be complications that will affect the project's likelihood of success. Microcomputer project management software. What is software project management? Software project management is dedicated to the planning, scheduling, resource allocation, execution, tracking, and delivery of software and web projects. Project management in software engineering is distinct from traditional project management in that software projects have a unique life cycle process that requires multiple rounds of testing, updating, and customer feedback. Most IT-related projects are managed in the agile style to keep up with the increasing pace of business and iterate based on customer and stakeholder feedback. And in the last 2 years, a wide variety of project management systems for the microcomputer have emerged in the commercial software market. The objective of this software is to enable the manager to use computerized project management tools with the same ease as performing spreadsheet analysis.
And that's all for our presentation. We hope that you have learned a lot about project management, and in the future, you will apply it when you are working on a particular project. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.